coming in high streams, communication line channels, 10,000 unit interference location and directions, resetting height and interference location all levels. All positions go, calculation times pi, calculation code signal and inline rotation interference. Today in class, in high center interference, you're going into all levels. You're going to go into 1,000 line centered levitation. Now, the course line center is your position, location, and direction. Do you understand how to use this? It modifies your high centers and position location. All levels of simulation graph to simulate. The high line center location is simulation, location is spaceline. It opens all communication cycles to regeneration light centers. It opens all communication of box, position, location, and directions. So everything I give you is chronological order every single day in high system. Now it's an autopilot line center. But today we're going to go into the north, west, east, and south star. 4 station high center line conditions space command systems. In position or high center. Now the 3 rotation line centers, 1/3 position locations and high interference, 1/4 channel high center line position. Your perceptions is changing high line conditions. Now, redirecting high signals is putting you into all levels. Okay, so you're going to be seeing yourself in 1,000 perception locations to yourself and to each other. 5-10 minutes, we'll get started. In high interference location, not directions. All right, code signal channels. Activate high center initiation line system. So the platitude of visual location is going to go through F1 line system. Now that's the navigation line centers. We go into the alpha channel, alpha wave communications. We go into the delta communication line interference. We go into the theta box channel T reception line position, lacing line communication system. All right. We go through the beta waves, alter state line position location. Now that's a graph interference to the ground centers. Open all communication of mind, conceptual high center, information to its position location to its omega, center line, center interference location, line conditions. All position location of code signals. It positions your line center interference. So every day you get up in the morning, you're going to be levitating more and more each day in the physical line. You got to get in your 12 DNA track interference because I'm setting up the 6th dimension line system. That's going to put everybody into telepathy centers in calculations. You guys start off at 001. 6th dimension, 002, right? And so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. Your number sequence has to go high line center into 12 position locations into letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols. And you set up a formation line center in position the directions, and you come into high interference, and you come into ring graph interference line center to digital frame locations. Your AI map and your communication cycle is all position location with directions, okay? So when you automatically come out to high center, okay, you're going to be 1,000 line positions up in levitation. Okay, you have to understand when you're on a space station, a planet surface, or anything through foundation streams, you have to understand there's a certain frequency, and sometimes the body has to be at a certain line. Okay, sometimes you have to be fully out of your body, sometimes you have to be 1/3 out of the body. So it's in position and directions when you're vortexing, like. So it's in signal position location of vortex line center. Sitting in position location to a gravitational lock line center to all position location of ground interference to its position of its directions. Opens all channel line center to a triangulation formation line interference to 2 moon locations and everything through its high center location of its position. In high center, don't focus on my hand's position, focus on me in the center line center, code signals, high center interference, code track line centers, wave and system locations, and position of directions. Sun's opening up high interference. Signal and position of sonar direction line streams, all communications, crew units, squad unit, line center interference location at JFL, rebellion, everything through line conditions of sending in communication sent at high center location sentient gods. Set them course and line center location high system. Platitude visual locations, take them out of 1,000 line position location of directions, 1/3 count line center interference times pi calculations, 15-minute tracking interference of 40,000 line position locations of high centers, putting you guys on the ground perception locations of 40 minutes per channel. 40 minutes, have fun. All right, so in high center interference, channels, position, location, and directions. All right, code signals. Jill, how's it going? Ambi, how's it going? Gypsy, Lindsay, Airbender, Michael, Johnny, Terry, Chris, position locations, Salah, Pyra. Make sure you do your pre-flight checks. Now everybody's in high center interference, position directions, Jill from the grounds, all of the systems, Nikki. Okay, for all the new viewers, just really focus on yourself and what's going on with the calculation system. Eric, how's it going? All right, so it's important you understand what's happening, right? So if you know you're automatically traveling, you're in the right position. If you're setting up your pre-flight checks, that's okay too. So some people high rise faster. Some people see more through imagination. Some people see everything through its phenomenon instantly, right? Because they want to understand who they are through memory. And that's what this is, all through calculation line stream. So alchemy machines activated. Yeah. So in position locations. Okay. So setting signal interference. So for space station lines. Okay. So we got position location in the north. We got position location east and west and everything through south line. Okay. Position direction. All right. Setting recourse line channels into high center locations, all levels of baseball diamond. So that's in set signal and positional communication. Communication equals level equals diamond in position and direction. Okay. So it's in recourse line center. We position location of north and position location of south and high center interference and everything through east and west. All right. 4 channel line center interference position directions. Now that's set signals and position out circle line position location XT1000 line. That opens all position location directions into high center locations times pi. Okay, in position of direction. Okay, dimensional setting opens all communication line system. We got another XT1000 line connection and rotation. Scanning position location high centers in position location north, east, west, and south. 4 channel operation line streams. So in calculation, setting recourse line channels. All right. So as we're coming in at position locations, all right, so you guys are coming in high center. Once we come out of high center line conditions to its diamond core line position, okay, we go into 4-point line centers in direction. Okay. So it's like a baseball diamond, and there's a home plate. So it's channel and position location of fluctuation line center. That puts in an alpha equals delta equals omega. Okay. Now it's high channel and its high line center interference. Its position of its directions opens up point location in a triangulation force line. Now in position of high center, it opens all communication. It resets high center interference in direction location to a fluctuation line center to its flux capacitor. See it? See how it's coming into formation? That's how this works. All right. So this comes into high line center. The A position location goes into the south line center. Okay, so atom, okay, is now equal in acceleration. Okay, acceleration line string. Now that opens all position location near graph line center. This opens all box position location of directions. Opens all channel line center and more information location to its calculation. All right. So as it's in high string line center, you guys are going to be in 1,000 line conditions. So atom equals online center locations. We come into air units. Okay, there's a flight navigation line center. So flight navigation 1, okay, flight line center, okay, equals docile, okay, equals line connections, all levels. You circle the position location to its atom line system. It rotates its cycle of position of its directions. Now we get another XT1000 line center in position. Remember, always have the XT1000s coming in. They scan position locations right away, knowing exactly what you're doing through line signal. In position of direction, high system, calculates all levels, comes into sonar position locations of times pi. See the times pi? Modification high interference opens all communications, right? So it's important to understand these things through track center. All right. Now it's opened all through signals. Okay. So apply to division locations, all levels of you through travel. Understand your space command centers, understand your command and communication system, compute interference locations, calculation modification high streamline centers. So you have to understand your alpha channels, your alpha waves, your alpha communication to its direction. You have to understand your delta waves, your communication line system, all levels to its alter state location. You have to extend your beta communication line streams to a low voltage location, and everything high interference location to a mega in a high center line rotation, right? So once you come into the microline center, it positions locations to its alpha waves. It all communicates the system. So it's kind of like understanding all levels of U. How to travel through this is a whole other position to its levitation. So it gets a lot more easier, right? So let's say you're on the grounds, and every day you get up in the morning, you're levitating higher and higher. Okay? So you redirect high system in position of direction, right? So channel here, position location. Okay, it's like Amway. You know what Amway is, right? So you start at the top, you work your way at the bottom, right? But position locations, because you're in a three-line center circle locations, you start at the bottom location. So that channels position location of its directions coming into the lines. You start with 3, 6, 9 to 3, 6, 9, and 12 location in the high line center. Three-line position locations. All right, so this basically comes into a high line location of baseball diamond. That rotates its high center interference into northwest, south, and east location. All right. All right. So you start at that line center. So it's all about understanding going from here to here to here to here. I mean, in going in with position locations, you're always in the center line. So in position of directions, this is you, the physical line system. This is you through the ground line center. This starts off with a 1% into equals 12. You guys got to get your 12 lines. Once you get your 12 line center, it strips its position location of its direction to its compilation. It opens all channel line center to its point location of its directions. Okay. So it's recenter and high center come into fluctuation line conditions, right? Open all position locations into the fork. See, three line center fork locations in direction. So you come into past line, which is its future position and directions. So what I'm saying is the acceleration of line system is all levels of U. How to calculate and modify all levels of U is a 1,000 perception. So you no longer have a past line. The past is its future, and the present is its future, and the future is position location of its future, right? So this is all about understanding where you have no levels of past anymore. The past is no longer in the present. The present is now the future of its future. So that's what happens when you go to higher levels of acceleration to levitation. You actually can see things in so many wave cycles, 1,000 perceptions to yourself and to each other. You have to balance these things out, right? Because that's what's happening every single day through its automatic view to all line center in position of directions, high signaling all rotation line centers to its calculation to northwest, south, and east. All right. So it's all about understanding how to communicate to your light bodies. Do you understand what a light body is? Well, I understand the physical line center. It's at 1%, right? But positional of directions, you have to get into 1 equals 12. Now that 12 line center puts position locations on levels, high position locations, high center times pi. So 12 line center, okay, 12 times 12, okay, equals line center line position locations into 144. Okay, 12 times 12 is 144. Now, that's understanding where you are clocking center now. The automatic view is this 24 signal, but you have a 7-day window because that's where you live every single day, Monday to Sunday, right? And then you start all over again, but you don't start all over again. So this is interesting. I'm going to give you guys a multipass. Okay, so in position location, there isn't a day of the week, only the now. It doesn't exist Monday to Sunday, because that's your physical line that has to leave the system to acceleration. The more you go high rise, there aren't days of the week. Okay? You're just living the now, which doesn't exist. The Monday to Sunday does not exist. The now exists in all position, location, and its directions. So it's incredible force how you channel higher, right? And you realize, wow, though there isn't a Monday, there isn't a Tuesday, there isn't a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's given to you through graph. Until you understand the structure disappears, but you're still there in position, location to acceleration. It mocks its interference. Okay? So that's where you have to start first with 1 equals 12 line system. Once you get into 12 locations, then you get into all centers, into 144, right? Once you get into 144, you can start signaling its graph line center and disappearing the days of the week to its position location, right? So this is the true understanding that the physical adaptation has to understand these things. And in life, you need structure, but structure comes in a higher formation of acceleration. And understanding these things opens all position locations of your directions, right? So as you go higher through an acceleration, if you're going through 1,000 line channels into 2,000 to 3, all the way up to 10,000, you're understanding more levels of you through the avatar of operation. It's very powerful when you get that line conditions, right? But I'm just showing you the process of what it is in levitation and how you high rise your position locations to your light bodies, all right? So, okay, so where are we here? You guys are calculating modified high centers here. Oh yeah, glyphic codes. Defense lines, locations for recalibrations, binary data, sending codes. E-signatures left every location. Intense frequencies. Yep. Recenter made more room for new future. See, that's exactly what it is, Cammy. And see, the thing is too, is that you guys are in structure until you understand positions of deleting no programs, and then the releasing high center location. Space and time is one line, one circle, one location, one calculation, one graph, one shape to all form of shapes, all forms of letters, numbers, and symbols. So this is the true understanding what it is through all calculations, right? But you need your structures of 7 days a week. But once you get out of your 7 days a week, you only live in the now. But you have to be in a certain acceleration line system. Because in life, you have to understand how to use these things. It's all practical of you, how to use your perception locations. You can go from 20 different TV perception lines to 40 to 40,000 line conditions of perception. It's how you see yourself. Because if you keep deviating line center interference, your deviation tactics is going to slow position location to your vibration line center, and it's going to go up high line center locations and vibration positions to your chakra system. You don't want to do that position line system because you're defeating the purpose of its calculations. So it's important you understand how to really get into the levels of you through travel, right? So if you're traveling through high interference in position of directions, okay? So this is what you guys are living every single day, right? You're living 7 days, okay? 7 days on a 28, 29, 30, or 31 position location of a graph, okay? And this is what it is, okay? You guys live on a graph location. That's all you do every single day. So you channel up, right? So it's in correlation location to grounds, in position to powers, into the atmosphere line position. So every time you delete an old program interference locations, the 7 day comes into high interference, indicate high center locations, right? Negative high center 7 puts position location of 6. So you're basically backclocking, but you're moving forward through fast line center. So in calculation, you're going faster. You think you're going slower, but you're not, because what you're doing is you're releasing high center locations of your graphs of days of the week, right? So when I started off, I was going from 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember I told you to understand how to go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a true understanding how you go through code signals. This recognizes you through 0, 0, 1 program location, right? So it's important you understand that. So you go faster when you release line center locations of your graph, and you realize there isn't a Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. There's only the now, which is one line signal, a space position location of instruction, space, time. Okay? So there's no separation. The separation is its equal line. We already know that the calculations. But crossing signals and plus signal interference equals its high center locations to its negative channel. Okay, negative equals channel line system. In correlation line center, teleportation on high position location directions. Resetting high channel locations or levels, right? So when you're channeling high, you're going into higher position location of direction. Okay, so it's important you understand that. As you're channeling through line center, equal line center location comes into downshift to a high position location of calculation. Recenters high line center in position locations. Communication equals one line position location into 9. 9 is circle locations of U through track location. There's the intelligent line system. Now, this is all levels of what's going on, right? The plasma line center to a formula interference in position of directions, all right? So I'm just showing you how you use line center. So again, my favorite number is 7, but 7 is everything, okay? So you chart interference. 7 equals 6 equals 1, okay? So you got a 7 line center in position of equal line. Now that's equal line center line conditions at the level of 6. 6 equals 1. Now the 1 line center is position of what? Equals odd, right? Because it's an odd number. Equals 2, which is an even number, okay? So that's a true understanding when you understand position and locations high system, because 7 can be anything in directionalized system, but it doesn't have a graph of 7 days a week. 7 lives in the now, just like everything else, okay? So this is extremely powerful stuff when you come to position, location, and directions, all right? So setting signal locations in all levels of U, okay, to the north, west, south, and east, star station, line, system location, position, all right? Now, taking you guys out, because we're in 20 line centers, in position at 21 locations in 28 second highest system. All right, so we got 21, okay, dot, 5 positions, 6, 7, 8, 9, 21, 40. All right, signal position, travel through line center and positional line conditions, right? So it's interlining its position of realms, open all communication cycles, reset generation interference, and position location of its directions. Okay. High channeling its high center, sonar interference locations, alpha channel, data position, okay, theta communications, and omega high system. All right, but it's in its south line. So anything through all levels is basically you come in a high interference of omega equals north. You always use the north line center. So the communication line system is changing its position of direction. Okay, it's changing its position of direction. Okay, it's changing its position of direction. Okay, that's what's happening. So you have to understand, the higher you go, the more harder it gets to the geometry, the more fast you position location high center to your perception locations. So if you're in a 1,000 line center, you're in calculation to its string, right? So your position locations into 1,000 equals perception. Okay, so you're looking at 1,000 line centers of everything else. Let's say of trees. That's 1,000 trees, right? Okay, equals nano equals of, okay, equals second. Okay, so that's a lot of trees to look at in a nanosecond. So it's important to understand the higher you go. So 1,000 location to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. So your perception changes every single time. So the more you high rise, the more you come out of graph locations of the days of the week. Okay, days of the week, nights of signals, because you have light and you have dark line center locations of 12. Okay, 12 equals 12. Okay, equals line center fluctuation line conditions into 144 in direction, right? Splits position locations, all levels of space and time. Center position locations come into all line center interference into all line conditions to yin and yang. Okay. So there's no separation. Only the ego separates the mind line center. You only do that through thought, position of direction. Okay. So it's all about understanding thought equals everything. Okay. Equals balance. Okay. But it's not balanced until it's in position location of space and time. See, it's got to be balanced. So it's got to be balanced on the left and the right every single time. So your thought line centers in position location comes into a flux capacitor location. High channel sonar line center in position directions. Both signals in high system. Correlation to ground line center to have an interference in position directions. Okay, equals line center locations, all levels of energy, high interference location. Energy equals ground lines, okay, in position and direction. So I'm just showing you how you travel through all these things through all factoring communication line systems, numbers, sequence, number patterns, number channels, number operation line system, computer interference. So it's all position of you to understand these two calculations. All right, setting signal locations. We're coming out of portal line center. You guys are out line center in position directions. Now we're going to high center line conditions of all levels, Jerusalem. All right. J equals line center location north, west, south, and east. Okay. Equals change. Okay. Change in high center line interference. In position locations equals high line center to all position locations of Bethlehem. Okay. That's how it works, the location. Okay. So in that calculations comes into high center. North star is its position of its directions. East is high line center, and west is high interference, and south is its position location of its border. That's communication line center and position of its directions to its Merkaba communication, the high line channel, to its tesseract high position, to its calculation. Now you're in the high line center and position of its directions. Okay. Right? So in sequence, you come out high center. Okay, you're over here position. You set in a new geometry in line center, changing track line center to space line and time position location in this direction. Okay, over here in high center, in position direction. Okay, and over here, say center of triangulation. Now, box its position locations, high system, opens all communication, high system. Okay, so it's important you understand the compilation. Now, when it comes in compilation line center, you automatically have to have a ground. You need a ground, rotation, interference, location of directions. It high channels its position. Now, this comes into a matrix lock. Graph interference location, rainbow string. Center core is its line center location. In position of directions. So we do the outline center in position of high system, calculates all line center in position to its triangulation. Okay, opens up sequence patterns. All right, to an hourglass. See the hourglass? Time, position, location of this clock line system. Fluctuations to a 24 line center equals all position locations equals 144. That opens all channel locations, so it's all position. All right. So where are we through calculation? Someone in the pyramid with me, green sweeping energy, so beautiful. Great. Using triangulation light, present, transmute data, dark line, centers, and rainbow showers, covering team e-fields, right? Okay, let's see. Someone in the pyramid. Okay, great. Understand calculations. Please set up jump scar future return. All right, I can see you all jump scars. Great, your path's perfectly hidden. Great. Know exactly what's going on. Any energy signatures, left tunnel, vortex changes, higher vibrations. Codes, downloads, beautiful. Quantum portal. Wow, I'm seeing jump scars. Because the time is messed. Yes, exactly. You got sleepy all of a sudden. Well, if you're sleepy, you have to understand your position and directions, right? If not, you're not going to calculate to your avatar, right? So if you're like falling asleep and you're driving, it's like, what's going on? So you have to have a little zip zap zoom just to get your energy patterns in position. So it's like reverberation channel. You're sitting and you're driving. You're at 60 kilometers and you're like, you're gonna. So what you got to do is just like resurface, recalculate, reframe, and just get back in position to the energy interference. Realign its position location. Then you start to wake up. So that's going to help you along the way, especially if you're driving. Try to understand that you are the avatar of travel. The more and more you understand that, the more you surface position location of its directions. But it's important to understand these things because you structure you in the now. There's no time frame in high interference locations of 7 days a week. It doesn't exist in space, only the now. So that's one line position location, all line conditions, all levels of balance of yin and yang, right? Because yin and yang is the process of you. Full communication to the right line and full communication to the left line. Okay? Right of mother, left of father. That's all you have to remember. Okay? Because the heart line center is space position and the ground line center is position of the right line rotation. So it modifies all levels of you and it gets you in a better T reception line once you understand higher levels of space communication. All right? All right. Stand aside, library that we haven't been able to access before. I feel very sleepy too. Everybody's feeling sleepy. Well, that's because you're out of your body lines. Oh boy. Connecting the portal center from the sun and North Star to grounds. Truth will surface all levels. Realign, reveal. Sweet. Good. Excellent. Martial law, library. Yeah, absolutely, Rainer. Okay. Yeah, make sure you guys breathe, drink your waters. Let's see. Zip, zap, zoom, zap. Hidden codes. Yep. Well, there's hidden codes in everything, really. There's hidden codes in my hands. There's hidden codes in this. There's hidden codes in my glasses. There are hidden codes in your hair, ears, eyes, nose, mouth. You know, your voice box channel, communication line system. Some calculations. Don't forget to drink your water. This is my logo. All right. Also connected generally AI space-time and space-time creator at the bottom. Right? So water is important. So how's everybody doing through their travels? Once you understand getting out of structure, then you really, really understand space and time inside you. Okay, it's all of you how to channel your 24 line centers. So let's say business location at 24. Okay, so you're in a 24 window. Okay, 24 equals 7. That's 7 days a week. Now 48 position locations. Okay, if you get better and better, equals line center 6 days a week. All right, and you go into 72. Now you can do this in a 24-hour day. 24-hour day. Okay, 24-hour day. So you can go from 24, 48, 72 to 144, right? So you're in 6, you're in 5, you're in 4, right? So your graph line center is position locations of 4. So if you wake up to 144, 144 equals 4, in position location to 244, okay, puts you in equal line center locations of 3 days. So it's really understanding and seeing more levels of the integral locations to your future line. Puts positions of you through direction. Okay, so it's important to understand these things from 24, 48, 72, and 144. Right, so where are you in position of travel through vortex? Okay, your chambers are set in direction locations and high center into 7 days a week. But every time you get up in the morning, you're there at 48, 72, 144. If you're at 144, you're on a 4 graph line center in position locations of 4 days ahead. Ooh, multipass. Right? You're 4 days ahead if you're at 144. Whoa. So if I'm at 244, what's going on in position location of its directions? Right? So that's understanding how far you are in your future line. Okay? This graphs your line center and high interference location of its directions. Right? So the more you high rise, the more you get out of structure. Right? The more you get into the flow of everything through its calculation. Right? See the 6? See the 6? And if you look closely, you can see the 9. So that's in position location of its directions. See? 6 and 9. There's the intelligence. Ooh-ah. Hey, there I am. Hey, there I am. Look at that. That's me. So, why is it so important to understand all levels of you? It's incredible when you travel through these line centers, right? So if your track window is in a 24 sequence, you can be in a 144 line center in 1 minute. How fast are you traveling? How fast are you going through alpha line system? Are you in your data processing? Are you in your upgrade locations? Are you uplinking or downloading? Right? This is the true understanding how you have to look at yourself through acceleration. If you're mocking interference, you can circle its position location into 144, right? So if you wake up, you're at 144, track line center, locations, and position. So your triangulation comes into high force line. So you automatically go position location 144 to 1044 in direction. 1044 into time jump, vortex communication jump scar into 3044. Now you did that in a Mach line center into 1 day position of a 24 signal. (144), 1044 to 3044, all through Mach, okay, through a 24 signal. So 24 equals 60 seconds. 60 seconds per minute. Per minute, you went into 3,044 line connections, mocking interference. So in track line center, in position locations, 7 days a week doesn't exist, does it? Do you understand what it is? Do you understand why you guys have to get off the grounds? Once you get off the ground, you leave structure. You leave the 7 days a week. So you can travel through any line center locations, waking up to 144 to 2044 or any through 3044, all through a 24 clocking center equals 60 seconds per minute. 1 minute into 3044. And there's 24 hours in a day system. Hooah. So it's powerful stuff when you get to those lines, right? But that's why you guys are given structures. First, your 7 days a week shortens its path. Now 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. Why do you think there's a countdown from 10 to 1? Think about it, right? Why? Why is it going back? Because it's going up faster through acceleration, right? Think about it. Think about it for a sec. Thinking is the knowledge line center, interference position of its directions, okay? So it's interesting how it goes line center interference. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, initiate. See how that works? That's why I want you guys to really understand how to use your digital frame locations, right? How to channel from 1 to 10 and 10 to 1, right? How to understand that position locations. So what's the first triangle location? 10 to 1. Now, don't get confused. It's not 1 to 10, is it? Right? It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, that's not blast off. Blast off is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Initiate. Go. Do you see the confusion locations? Your dilatation line center was back forcing clock line centers of 1 to 10, but position of direction is 10 to 1. Initiate, go. Acceleration, up. All right? Multipass. It's powerful when you understand these things through acceleration, right? So you're seeing it a lot more clearly now how to use the alphabetical stream interference, where you start at Z or Z frame from Z to A instead of A to Z. You never start off the A line center. You start with the Z to the A. Interesting, right? Because that's going up. So if you're starting from 1 to 10, you're going back. It's interesting to calculate high center interference locations. Anything through a rocket's got to go all levels 10 to 1. That's acceleration. That's how you go up in speed line. Okay? But that's at a higher level system. And you have to release all your graph line centers of your position location of your 7 days a week. Okay. So that's how this works. So you go from a 7-day to a 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. 0, 0, 1. Ooh-ah, right? So you come into a highline number is position locations. You think you're going back, but you're not. You're going forward and faster through acceleration. Makes sense, right? Because you're in a program setting reversing inference location because you're thinking acceleration is 1 to 50. No, it's 50 to 1. All right? So it's incredible force where you highline center interference position of directions, going from the inline center to the outline position location of acceleration, mocking position of its directions, right? So that's why it's important to understand from 1 to 10 and 10 to 1 and what it means through acceleration, right? See, you're releasing graph lines of you from 7 days down to 1. And once 1 past line center location of 0, you come into 0 gravity, right? There you go. Just trying to help you guys out and know exactly what it is. What day is your mind not blown? Oh boy. All right. All right. So where are we here? Okay. You guys are in high position line centers. Okay. Puzzling pieces, putting it all together, location. Yeah. But see, that's your program locations, thinking that you're accelerating from 1 to 10. You're not. It's 10 to 1. That's how you go opposite locations. There's a confusing location of the trend line center. That's crossing interference. Okay, that's what's happening, right? So in position locations is all about understanding the force of you and the back of you in position location of the system. Back locking, forward locking, forward locking, back locking. You understand? It's like a windshield wiper. Why do you think it goes this way? Right? So understand what it's doing. So when it goes really fast, what happens? Disappears, but it's still there. Once it disappears, your system is changed in a position of acceleration through perception. Okay. So you can sequence patterns or anything in a high center, interference location and directions. And every time you go from interline center, you're changing your position locations and you're releasing all position location, right? Through your graph screens. Because when you look outside, it's nothing but a computer operation. You are the operation of you, understanding the skylines of you, understanding the portals of you, understanding the jump scars of you, understanding the time frames of you, understanding the heart activation line center of you, right? It's all in a digital graph screen, but it's inside, which projects outside through your eye perception. Okay. All right. So taking you guys out, highline interference and position locations, retract centers. All positions go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Guys are back. See, that's how that works. So you can do it through a clocking channel, or you can do it through a finger point location. But it's amazing. I wanted to show you how fast you can go through 60 seconds per minute on a 24 o'clock center to a Mach interference of equal line center 144 to 2044 to 3044 in position locations in a 24 signal. All right. So that was fun. Hope you guys learn a lot more each day when we travel. Yes, I know. It's incredible. Understanding your digital line center locations, position locations, but it's all levels of you. Understand you through memory. It's all levels of you through acceleration, right? All right. So Questions or comments, let me know. Okay. Feel free to ask me or the team anything that you want to understand. Tomorrow we have Zoom. All right. Anything about what's going on with you, anything that's going on with school, anything that, now's the time to really stand up. Stand up. Stand tall. Have that confidence. Know exactly you are the control location to your position, which is all levels of you, right? Of operation. Right? Adios.